Water. Have you ever wondered what we use water for? What is it affected by? And where do we get our drinking water from? We're going to look at some of that today and then the next couple of science lessons. First, we have to look at some vocabulary: conservation, natural resource, and water pollution. The first one is conservation. In that word, you see the word conserve. If you are conserving something, that means that you are saving it for a specific reason. When we conserve water, we are using a resource wisely so it will not run out. So we'll drag and drop that into the box. As I'm doing this, I would like you to fill in your vocabulary list on Class Kick. The next one is natural resource. Natural resource. So natural resources are things in the world that we use every day. They're materials or substances that occur in nature. So that would be like trees or water or rocks. Those are natural resources, something that we cannot man-make. And finally, water pollution. You may have heard a lot about pollution, especially recently looking up at the sky at night or early in the morning. You might see that there is some pollution in the air from all the fires happening out west. Pollution, water pollution, is pollution from our source, from a source into our water. So maybe that's stuff from the sewers, maybe it's pesticides. We'll look into that a little bit more. Now I want you to think about, where does your water come from? Where do you think water comes from? The drinking water that we get in our sinks and things like that. We get them from rivers. We can get them from lakes. In some cities, we'll pull them straight from the water at specific places called reservoirs that are man-made lakes. Wells, where we dig a really, really deep hole, and there are underground lakes called aquifers that we use. And those are all the places we can find water and where our water comes from. Now I want you to fill this out on your own, at least one in each box. How do we use water? When we're bathing, what kind of things do you use it for? I'll give you help on the first box and you'll have to fill in the rest. The first one, we use water when we shower. We also use water when we brush our teeth. Think about what else you do. We do it at school a lot with our hands. I want you to fill those in. Finally, for crops, what do we do to crops? Why do we use water for crops? One reason is that we water them. So you can go ahead and write that in the box. We also use it for drinking, not only just drinking straight water, but in any of your soda drinks, in any lemonade or Kool-Aid, or almost any kind of drink you drink has some kind of water in it. Then also for household uses, we use water for washing our clothes, washing our dishes, cleaning our hands. We use it for cleaning our floors. We use water for a lot of things in our house. We use it for cooking, maybe making pasta or something like that. For recreation, that means things that you do for fun. So maybe you go swimming. Maybe you go to the lake and you go skiing. Those would be other uses of water. Finally, for travel, maybe you go on a cruise or a boat ride and you're traveling across water, or you're going kayaking or canoeing and traveling down a river. Now we're going to briefly look into water pollution and then look into it a little bit more starting next week. But water pollution is just water that has been polluted, meaning that it has been contaminated with some other substance. And we'll look at that a little bit more next week in science.